All right. Well, you asked for it, so today we're going to go over the Zeffo mission unlock again. We're going to go over the modding first, and then we're going to go over the mission itself. Try and look over some key things, try and do it quick. So let's get into it. So this mission is seemingly harder than uh, it's harder than it looks, apparently. And I will definitely admit there is quite a bit of RNG on this. People in my guild have been sharing some weird things that happen. Sometimes IPD just goes ahead and does yeetus deletus without any warning, and that's without some of the things happening that normally would. Normally, you have to attack IPD under protection with Cal, usually, um, for that to happen. But sometimes it's just weird shit happens. I had it happen 2 times in a row to me last time. Um, had IPD just blow up on me back to back. Weirdest thing. So let's get into the modding and take a look at things. Cere is the lead, so if you put Cal's lead Omicron on, sorry, that does not apply here. Uh, Cere and Cal both provide or give instances of protection up. So that is based on health. One is going to be the force barrier, bonus protection, which is also based on health. And so we want to have as much health as possible, but we also need as much armor slash defense as possible. Defense greatly mitigates health damage. So the more defense we have, which translates into armor, the better off we are going to be. And let's just look at Cal real quick for what he gives. Gains protection up. So protection up also based on health. So they both give protection up, bonus protection. It's based on their health. Cere is a little bit squishier than Cal, so he needs more defense than anything, or defense than he does at least. So I have all all defense sets. And a lot of them, they either have health or defense on them, sometimes both if I could help it. So we got health and defense here. We have obviously defense primary, so can't do much about that. No health on it, but plenty of protection. Health circle, no defense, oddly enough. So not really sure why I kept this one, but it's got a good enough protection on it. Crit avoidance with no health or defense, but plenty of protection. So if possible here, at least having some more health here would make things a lot nicer. Health primary and with a bunch of protection again, and another health primary on the cross with a bunch of defense. So that translates into almost 50-50 health protection. I would have liked a little bit more health on that if I were to do it again. But it does translate to 73% armor, which is very important here. And so let's go take a look at Cal real quick. All right, and as Cal here has, we've got Cal is R8 I did that for a number of reasons. One, because he's fun to play with. One, for territory battle platoons. But it does help the mission easier. You can't do it with R7. R8 helps, obviously. So all health sets with potency. Potency, I'm going for stuns when he does his Saber Slam and goes for the Armor Shred. So the shreds are irresistible, but the stuns are not. So just trying to get what I can there. So only 74% potency, not a ton. Does work sometimes. So like I said, we have plenty of health here, so that's going to help him. Let's see. Health, defense, speed. I got him plenty fast. He doesn't need to be super fast, but obviously the faster he is, the better. You don't want to have his turn get lapped by IPD or by anybody else on the board, so the faster he is, the better. Offense, health, defense, all built in. Health primary for him as well. Big fat slice of defense on that arrow. Another health primary with more potency, more defense, and protection and more speed on the potency cross. So it gives him 118,000 health, 64,000 protection, 288 speed. He's not blazing fast, but it's fast enough. And got him right around 63% armor. And the health is going to help him, especially when Cere gives her shield up, and when Cal does his whirlwind, he gets the bonus protection or he gets the protection up, which again is based on his health. So that's going to help him a lot. One thing I wanted to go back to Cere and point out was something that a friend of mine made, and just how defense helps. So a friend of mine made a calculator, and what it does. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. I just knows his math a lot better than I do, so built this calculator to kind of highlight differences between health, protection, and armor, and really what it does. So here are Cere's numbers with the health and protection, total hit points, the armor, and the resistance, and it comes out to 587,000 effective survivability, basically effective health points, hit points, versus physical and special attacks. So then I threw in some numbers to just simulate taking out some of the defense sets and putting on health sets. So I was saying, the health is good for the bonus protection. So doing an extra little bit of health here and a little bit less protection, but with less armor. It doesn't look like a lot, but it's a almost 12% difference in armor. But without it, it actually provides less survivability against physical and special attacks. So the armor really does make a difference. You really do want to invest in defense sets, getting as much health and defense on her as possible for this mission. It's not a big difference in stats at all. Not a big difference in numbers there, but it does have a big difference in the game. So just something to think about for the future. So, or as you're going through this mission. So that's the mods. We're going to get into the mission. And one thing to note with the mission is Cal does have health steal. So when the AI, or when the game, the environment, the PvE, whatever you want to call it, whenever they go crazy on you and they start to beat on you a little bit, Cal does have health steal. So he's going to take 10% of his health on his attacks. So just remember that when you're starting to lose a bit of health and you're trying to, you're thinking you're doing everything right, you're staying in the right moves, but you're still getting beat up, you might have to go on the offensive to save yourself. So, to the mission. The first wave is pretty easy. Um, Basically, the way Cal's kit works, every time he goes from one stance to another stance that he doesn't have, like if he goes from his whirlwind slam to his windmill defense, if he goes from this to this, he gains 10 stacks of impetuous. If he goes back from whirlwind back to or if he goes back from windmill back to whirlwind, that's another 10. When he gets to 30, it unlocks his third move, which the first time he uses it, he can one-shot the opponent. So basically, the first wave will just be going through these two moves here. And then once we get rid of one of these troopers, with his third one, we'll mostly stay in this third one. This is more of a defensive stance, and that's what you want to stay in. Cere, for the most part, she just has one move. She has three moves, but will be using one move the most. And I'll show you there. So Cal, he always has his first shot, dispels taunt. We're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna go for that shred and the stun. And the game is freezing nicely. So, beginning of each round, when Cere has it, use her shield, give that bonus protection or protection up. So that's going to help them both, especially with the way they hit. Cal's turn, does his basic back to this trooper. He's going to switch back to, or he's going to switch to his windmill defense. So he's going to do that. Choose Cere. Now what that does, as you can see here, so that gives Cal a bunch of things here. So he's got Riposte. So attacks out of turn ignore protection. And he's got Retribution. So basically, he has, if he gets attacked, he's going to attack back. The reason why this is dangerous is if IPD attacks him while he has Riposte up, he is going to hit IPD under protection, which means he's going to start chipping away at his health immediately, even though he still has plenty of protection. So that is what causes IPD to self-destruct. So we need to be careful with that. He won't be in this stance for very long in this phase, but he only gets the Riposte. He only gets the Riposte and Retribution when he first comes back to this stance. So if he stays in the stance, the subsequent times that you choose that stance, he will not have that. So, and I'll show you what I mean there. So she's just going to basic. Okay, so we saw the IPD did attack Cal. So we just, luckily he attacked back to the Purge Trooper. Alright, so let's go back. Let me just look at this again. Windmill defense. So if Cal doesn't have the dual wield, which he does, he loses the configuration and gains configuration dual wield. And if Jedi Cal does not have the dual wield at the start of his turn, he gains Riposte for 2 turns. And so that's the biggest part right there. So we do not want him having Riposte all the time. So granted, he's going to have it for 2 turns here, but if he switches back to this other stance, which he's going to right now, because we're going to get him to 30 stacks of impetuous, he's going to lose this stance. So right now he's got 30 stacks. That's going to unlock his third stance, which we're just going to Saber Slam. So that dude's gone. Now basically what we need to do is kind of play like a safe game here. If Cal goes back to the turtle mode. Well, the turtle mode is basically going back to windmill. If Cal goes back to windmill from this stance or from this stance, then he will gain the riposte for 2 turns. So we definitely want to limit that. The other thing we gotta take a look at here is the turn meter on both IPD and the other purge trooper. If they have low turn meter, Cal has a better chance of. It's not that he has a better chance of landing. He's going to land another stack of armor shred, but it's better that he's going to have time to switch to another stance if he needs to. So land another shred there. So we're just going to hit him. Actually, what we want to do is we don't want to go into this next mode without being in windmill defense. It's easier to go back or to finish the wave on windmill defense so that we can start the wave on windmill defense without having the riposte being an issue. Now he's going to have it right here, so we need to be careful. But that's also the nice thing about Cal taking more turns than them. If he is fast enough, he can get his turns in before IPD does. And now he loses the riposte because he's still in the stance. So if you stay in the stance, you will not do anything with it. So we're going to stay in windmill defense for this time, just because the beginning of the wave is usually a pretty hard hitting. So we're just kind of slow rolling ourselves a little bit here. He doesn't have riposte, doesn't matter, so he's not going to hit under anything. We're going to we're just going to give Cere a shot. And now her turn is going to be up in a minute here, so she's going to throw up a shield. That's why we saved it. And so IPD's turn meter is kind of high here. So we're going to just stay in our windmill defense because we do not need to mess with the timing of anything yet. Okay. Cal's health is good. Cere is going to need some help soon. And so actually we'll just go ahead and keep that defense up for her. And we're just going to armor, or we're just going to windmill our way through this apparently. Okay. Luckily, they're going after Cal this time. So, Cal's up to 30 stacks of Impetuous, so now we can get rid of Second Sister. Luckily, Cere's shield is coming up next turn because she's getting hammered. And she gets her turn. She gets a little bit of protection up, which is good. And we're gonna stay in this stance and just keep the protection, or keep the armor up. The deal with Cere's Saber Toss is you really only want to use it once, so the more turns the enemy takes, the more this kind of charges up so to speak. So if we can draw this out a little bit, try and get another shield out of Cere. And as you can see, she is healing a little bit with her out of turn attacks. That's part of Cal's kit. So out of turn allies heal when they attack out of turn. But we're playing it kind of. So got one more here. Okay. Get that defense back. All right, shield up. Okay. And we're just going to do this again. Now I'm watching the turn meter. And IPD's got low turn meter, so we're going to go for Armor Shred, which is just going to help whittle down Purge Trooper slowly. It's been a minute on Cere's Saber Toss, so basically they've taken a lot of turns, so we can probably try and yeet it right now, see what happens. And there you go. So that's the importance of having the health and the defense for Cere. Mine's a little bit slower than some people's, but if you play your cards right and you pay attention and you know what to look for, you can get through this mission without a whole lot of problems. Hoping this helps out some people. If there's any questions, drop them in the comments, and we will try to address them next time. Thanks for watching.